BNB Man is back.
Oh, oh my gosh, the red got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. Oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dashy True Inferno. Here with another Overwatch gameplay, but let's get straight into it. Alright, so a number of months back, the NBA.com crew, in combination with the NBA on TNT crew, got together and did a little conversation about a pretty interesting topic. Well, a number of years back, like in the I think it was the late 90s, the NBA did a ceremony. They basically announced the top 50 greatest players of all time. So guys like Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, a number of these guys made the list. And they all got together on one court and celebrated. You know, and this also includes Charles Barkley as well. Yeah, that's how good of a player he was. Now, what the NBA on TNT/NBA.com crew talked about was who should be the next 10, because a number of years have went by since that ceremony. Matter of fact, over a decade went by. Matter of fact, I think we're getting close to 2 decades. So, and I thought it was a pretty interesting topic. So, I decided to do my own list of who should be the next 10. So basically what I'm doing is taking the top 50 greatest players of all time. You can't take nobody off of that list. And I am expanding it by 10. So I'm adding 10 more players to the list because a number of players have came and a number of players have gone for the NBA. So here are my next 10 to get in. And we're going to start with the pretty obvious. What I mean by pretty obvious is when I say these names, you're going to have to say, yeah, that's pretty obvious. And not only that, but the names I'm going to mention, whether the next 7, the top 7 that I'm going to mention rather, are names that the crew mentioned as well. So let's get straight into it. Tim Duncan, pretty obvious. Kobe Bryant, pretty obvious. LeBron James, pretty obvious. Dwayne Wade, pretty obvious. Kevin Garnett, pretty obvious. Dominique Wilkins, pretty obvious. Kevin Durant, pretty obvious. Even though I do not like Kevin Durant, I think he's the Jay Cutler of the league. But yeah, he would be the next 10. As far as the top 60 greatest players of all time, he would be in there. Now, the next 3 are somewhat interesting. Even though 2 out of these 3 names the crew did mention, actually the crew mentioned all 3 of these names, but I'll get to this one particular name in a minute. So the name I'm talking about is Reggie Miller. Yes, Reggie Miller would be my next 10. Now, some of you are probably wondering, okay, if Reggie's getting in, then Ray Allen should be getting in as well. Not my next 10, and I'm gonna explain why. So yes, Reggie Miller is a 5-time NBA All-Star. He made the All-NBA third team 3 times. He's a 50, 40, 90 club member, and he accomplished that in 1994. And y'all probably wondering, what the heck is that? Well, the 50, 40, 90 club is ran for one entire season, when fulfilling the minimum requirements to be a part of the 50, 40, 90 club. You took X amount of shots, and you made 50% of your field goals from anywhere on the court. You made 40% of 3-pointers, and you made 90% from the free throw line. 50, 40, 90. And Reggie Miller accomplished that. And he, at one point in time, was the leading 3-point shooter of all time. You know, he made the most 3-pointers of all time. And then, of course, that record was passed by Ray Allen. Which brings up the question, why did I pick Reggie Miller over Ray Allen? Because in my opinion, Reggie Miller is the best 3-point shooter of all time. Some may say Ray Allen. Others may say Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry will get there eventually, but he ain't there yet. I'm going with Reggie Miller, in my opinion. And I'll explain this right now. Why did I pick Reggie Miller ahead of Ray Allen? And here's the thing. That crew that was like talking about Reggie Miller being on the list, Reggie Miller was a part of them. And he said, I want no part of this. Y'all can pick somebody else. Don't pick me, blah, blah, blah. Ironically enough, Chris Webber's name came up, and Chris Webber was a part of the crew. And he wasn't as humble as Reggie, so to speak. But his name still didn't get in the top 10, the next 10 rather, which is pretty funny. But anywho, the reason why I'm going with Reggie Miller over Ray Allen is because of this. I'm looking at Ray Allen's career. Yes, Ray Allen accomplished a lot. He's the leading three-point shooter, as in he made the most three-pointers of all time throughout his career. He's a 2-time NBA champion, 10-time NBA All-Star. He made the second team. He made the third team. He made the All-Rookie second team. So you probably wondering why you pick Reggie Miller ahead of Ray Allen. Because here's the thing. Even though Ray Allen is a 2-time champion, he was never the franchise player that took his team anywhere. He never was. So let's look at Ray Allen's career. He was drafted, and it all started with the Milwaukee Bucks. And he was a part of the Big Three, along with Sam Cassell and Glenn Robinson. And could you say that Ray Allen was the franchise amongst those three? No, you could say it was Sam Cassell, but others could say it was Glenn Robinson. And all they did together was go to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, which were led by Allen Iverson. More of that name later. Then after that, he was not drafted, but he was dealt to the Seattle Supersonics. And you could say he was the franchise player there, but what did he accomplish there? Like, he accomplished some individual accomplishments, but as a team, did he lead his team anywhere? No. He led the Seattle Supersonics nowhere from 2003 up to 2007. And then when he joined the Boston Celtics because of a trade, that's when he won his first championship, but he wasn't the lead guy. He was the third guy in that big three, behind KG and Paul Pierce. So, and then of course he joined Miami, where he wasn't even a big three. You know, he was behind LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Two of those three names are in my next 10, by the way. While Reggie Miller, he stayed with one team throughout his entire career, and that's the Indiana Pacers, and he's been the franchise player for them. He led them to the NBA Finals. He led them to conference finals. He led that team towards becoming a playoff contender, title contender, time and time again. Ray Allen didn't do any of those things, with the exception of possibly leading the Milwaukee Bucks to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's it. So that's why I'm going with Reggie over Ray Allen. Now, the next name on this list is one that the NBA crew all agree with, but when I say this name, some of you may look at me and go, who? Because when I heard this name, I was like, who? And that name is Bob McAdoo, rhyming accidentally. So you're probably wondering, who the heck is this guy? Well, I had to do some digging, and here's where I found out about Bob McAdoo. Because he was playing before I was even born, like before my time. He's a 2-time NBA champion. This is as a player, obviously, because he's a 3-time assistant coach. You know, 3-time champion as assistant coach. But we talk about as a player. 2-time NBA champion. League's MVP. 5-time NBA All-Star. NBA first team, second team. Rookie of the year. 3-time NBA scoring champion. Back-to-back years. And if it wasn't because of an injury, he might have had a really great career, in my opinion. And he also played for the Detroit Pistons while he was, you know, plagued with injuries as well. And, so that's unfortunate right there. But Bob McAdoo obviously would make my next 10. Now, the last spot was tough. It was between two guys that the crew automatically put in. Dirk Nowitzki and Allen Iverson. So I had to look at this. I'm like, okay, let's look at Allen Iverson's career highlights in awards, rather. He was a league MVP, 11-time NBA All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 3-time NBA First Team, 3-time NBA Second Team, NBA Third Team, and Rookie of the Year. He was a 4-time NBA Scoring Champion, a 3-time NBA Steals Leader. Okay, so that's cool. Now let's look at Dirk's accomplishments. NBA Champion, NBA Finals MVP, League's MVP, 13 NBA All-Star, 4-time First Team, 5-time Second Team, 3-time Third Team, 50-40-90 Club. I mentioned that already. And there's some other accomplishments like 3-point shootout champion, shooting stars champion, teammate of the year, the BBL MVP, the FIBA or the FIBA World Cup MVP, the FIBA Eurobasket MVP. You know, there's other stuff in there as well. But we talking NBA here, obviously. So it was tough. Now, let me get something straight real quick. Between the two of these, I'm more of a fan of AI than Dirk. I think most people are. in the US, that is. I think AI is more skilled than Dirt, but it's not like it's by a landslide, because Dirt got some skills as well. But I'm going with Dirt here, and here's why. NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP. And the greatest highlight for Allen Iverson was being the league's MVP. Dirt did that too. And he made the All-Star team more than AI did. Now you're probably going, but wait a minute. If you're going with championships to decide this one, why you ain't going with championships to decide Ray Allen against Reggie Miller? Well, here's why. Allen Iverson, Dirk Nowitzki, and Reggie Miller are all franchise players. Dirk led the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA championship. Thus, he became Finals MVP. Reggie Miller led the Indiana Pacers towards a Finals appearance and multiple Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Allen Iverson did the same thing. He led a team where there was nobody on the squad just about who could score. He was like the only scorer in there, and everybody else were defenders. He led that squad to the NBA Finals and took Game 1 from the Los Angeles Lakers that had Shaq and Kobe in their house. So there you go. That's the reason right there. So, but I'm going with Dirt over AI. Now, if I was to do my next 5 after that, Allen Iverson would be my front runner without question, followed by Joe Dumars. Then it's Ray Allen, followed by Alonzo Mourning, and finally Ben Wallace. So yeah, that would be my next 5. So let me give you all my next 10, like 51 to 60. Here's my 10 right here to join the 50 greatest players make it to 60. Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Garnett, Dominique Wilkins, Kevin Durant, Reggie Miller, Bob McAdoo, and Dirk Nowitzki. So yeah, there you go with that, man. And this game is over. And of course, I did my thing right here, man. So yeah, man, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. And please subscribe, leave comments, share with your friends and things like that. I'm going to try to start saying that at the end of my videos now. So yeah, try to make this channel grow. Try to make my True Inferno Pokemon Go channel grow. And, you know, I really appreciate you guys for leaving comments and helping me out with both of my channels. So yeah, man, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.